ਚੰਦਾ ਉਗਵਹਿ ਸੂਰਜ ਚੜ੍ਹੈ ਹਜ਼ਾਰ ਇਤੇ ਚਾਨਣ ਹੁੰਦਿਆਂ ਗੁਰ ਬਿਨ ਘੋਰ ਅੰਧਾਰ ਇਤੇ ਚਾਨਣ ਹੁੰਦਿਆਂ ਗੁਰ ਬਿਨ ਘੋਰ ਅੰਧਾਰ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. So we gathered here, you've just heard the talk from the Khalsa ethics team, and they related to you the dietary requirements of the Khalsa, what's good of us, what's good for us in that respect. Now our talk is focused on Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. This whole event is known as Parkash, and every single morning Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is Parkash Man. So, although in the Panth there's some ambiguity about the Parkash Purab of the different Satguru Sahib Jis, etc., but at the end of it, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, the eternal Satguru, they're Parkash Man every single day. And sometimes we fail to realize that Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is much as our Satguru, as Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Ji was. And we really need to understand what a guru is and what our Satguru Sahib Ji is and how they differentiate from the teachers, the mentors and the gurus that are present in the world elsewhere. So many of us consider Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj on different levels. So the very basic level, and a level that we would go as far as to say is wrong, is that people consider Satguru Sahib Ji to be a book, and a book of 104,030 pages. But we don't even use these terms, 1430 ang, the limbs of Satguru Sahib Ji. And really to understand how Satguru Sahib Ji is forever present with us in the form of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, that's the motive of this talk. So just the title of the talk, Thakur Hamra Sad Bolanta. So many of you obviously know that Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji came in a human form and they spoke. And Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, the aim of this talk is, by the end of the talk, to realize that Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj is much talking, speaking, communicating, looking after their Sikhs as Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj was. So if we just move on to the next slide. Vaheguru. So have we got any Harry Potter fans here? So, Paji, do you know what that scene is there?
It's when he looks into the, what's it called, that mirror?
Yeah, the mirror of Erised. And what does it do?
It shows you your deepest desires.
Yeah. So your deepest desires, whatever in you, there's this scene in Harry Potter where he looks into this mirror, and before him, he sees his parents. His parents have passed away, they've deceased. And that's his deepest desire, and it's shown by him. And my point of showing this picture is that sometimes when we're in front of people, we talk about reading them, about looking at their facial expressions and reading them. But Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, just like the mirror of Erised, they can look far beyond that, from what's inside of us, just like that mirror. So if we move on. And there's a Pangti in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji in Kannada Rag by Hukamname Dev Ji, and they use this example of a mirror. And obviously any drishtant is the word for example that we use in Katha. I've used the drishtant of the mirror of Erised, but drishtant hamesha ek pakhi hunda hai. There's always an organ in the example. So obviously Guru Maharaj is not just like the mirror of Erised, but like we say that Satguru Sahib Ji is like the sun, but the rays of the sun, they burn people. We say Satguru Sahib Ji is like the moon, but the moon has blemishes on it. So koi bhi drishtant pura nahi hunda. So this was just to get us thinking of the nature of Satguru Sahib Ji. And in this Shabad, Bhagat Nam Dev Ji says, Aso Ram Rai Antarjami. So we say that Guru Maharaj is Antarjami, meaning they're all-knowing. How are they Antarjami? Jaise darpan mahe badan parvani. That just as how we in a mirror see our own reflection. So Satguru Sahib Ji is this mirror, and they are seeing everything that is within us. It becomes manifest to them, just like a mirror. And that was true for Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. That's why we have all the Gurbani, Siddh Gosht, because they were able to answer the questions that were asked to them directly, and even those that the Siddhs had in their mind. But Satguru Sahib Ji, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is just the same. So if we can move on, Bhai Sahib. But there's one thing. In this world, we see a lot of people meditating. There's lots of yoga camps. Yoga is encouraged. Different types of meditation. People are going towards the Buddhist faith. Even people in our own religion, they're inclined. But what is it that meditation achieves? So I'm not talking about Path, but in general, what do people go for in meditation? Can we have any response to that, please?
Quieten the mind.
To quieten the mind. That's it. So obviously quietening the mind is a good thing. That's what it must mean. So sometimes we think all these ideas, new ideas, they're all good, they're positive. They are, but on a spiritual platform, obviously what we're trying to achieve is to quieten the mind. So everyone's saying that we're stressed in this modern day of life, the modern walk of life, but what we're trying to achieve is quietness. But if quietness is perfection, then that must be present in Akal Purkh Vaheguru. Akal Purkh Vaheguru has recited 1430 ang of Gurbani, they've come, but if Satguru Sahib Ji's mind is silent, if Satguru Sahib Ji is not thinking, so sankalp the vikalp, so sankalp the thoughts that come into our mind, and vikalp that those that leave, if Satguru Sahib Ji is free from them, then where is all this Gurbani coming from? So in Gurbani, in Japji Sahib, in the Nitnem of Japji Sahib, every day the word that is used for Akal Purkh Vaheguru is Anahat. And what Anahat means, because we're worshippers of the Shabad, so whenever Akal Purkh Vaheguru is described, it's actually just describing the Shabad. And there's two types of sound, Ahat and Anahat. So for any sound, physically, to hear it, two things have to touch, there has to be contact. That's what we call Ahat. But Akal Purkh Vaheguru is such that he is Anahat, that his sound is always pervading. There's many Panktiyan and Gurbani that talk about this melody, this Anhat Tuni that is going on. Tan, tan, O Ram, Ben Bajja, Madhur Madhur Tun Anhat Gajja. So coming back to the point of Akal Purkh Vaheguru being silent and Satguru Sahib Ji being silent, the drishtant that's given for what Mahapurkh, so Satguru Sahib Ji is like, is that Satguru Sahib Ji is like a toll. That I'm sure many of you play instruments. If the instrument is just lying there, it's not going to play by itself. Jado dagga vajna toll te udo cho awaaz nikalni hai. So aise tarike de naal, in this way, that's what Satguru Sahib Ji's nature is like. By themselves, they're completely free of all thoughts. But when someone comes to them with a question or something in their mind or something that they ask, that's where this Gurbani comes from. So moving on to the next slide, Faisal. So in Gurbani it says, Parthaye Sakhi Mahapurkh Bolde Sanji Sagal Jahanna. That the whole of Gurbani, this is how it's come about. So Parthaye Sakhi Mahapurkh Bolde, Parthaye Sakhi. So for someone, Gurbani was recited. So Siddh Gosht for the Siddhs. This is a picture of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj at Babar's court after they freed the 1100 prisoners in the jail of Ahmedabad. And there Satguru Sahib Ji has a conversation. And that conversation of Satguru Sahib Ji is what later on becomes Shabads. So in fact, all of our Shabads of Gurbani, there's a story to them. That story, we call it the Athanika. And for example, in this one, Babar and Satguru Sahib Ji have a conversation, and Satguru Sahib Ji says that Rajeshi, Mukaddam Kutte, that kings are like dogs, are like lions that are eating on the prey of the barja, of the population. And then Babar asks Maharaj questions as well, that how are you a fakir, how are you a saint? And then Satguru Sahib Ji recite this Shabad, ਭਾਉ ਤੇਰਾ ਭਾਂਗ ਖਲੜੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਚੀਤ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਵਾਨਾ ਪਿਆ ਅਤੀਤ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਵਾਨਾ ਪਿਆ ਅਤੀਤ ਕਰ ਕਾਸਾ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਭੂਖ ਹੌਂਦਰ ਮੰਗੋ ਨੀਤਾ ਨੀਤ that when he asks that how are you a fakir, because fakir carry all these insignia, all these symbols, a pot to ask alms for, they take bhang, which is a drug, all these things, and Satguru Sahib Ji, through their own way, they give the shabad for that, and that shabad is in Gurbani. That's just one example of many, many shabads that are in Gurbani that have come from an Uthanika, from a Sakhi. We cannot understand the shabads of Gurbani completely if we do not understand the Uthanika. Sun ma Chandra Nanak bola, O sulhi te Narayan rakh, sulhi ka haad kahi na paunche, sulhi hoye muwa na paak. All these shabads, if we do not know the Uthanika, then we won't be able to understand them. But the point is that Satguru Sahib Ji, just like that toll, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੋਈ ਜਗਿਆਸੂ ਆਇਆ, someone came to them, and that's when this Gurbani came. So, and Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, because we haven't got a lot of time to discuss about how all the shabads of Gurbani have come about and how they're different, the different levels that Maharaj Sahib speaks to. But coming to Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, we all know that it was Panjve Pasha, Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, that brought Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and the Pehla Parkash was done at Sri Harmandir Sahib. And at that time, when that Pehla Parkash was done, Baba Buddha Sahib Ji was made the Granthi. And Satguru Sahib Ji gave this hukam, it's recorded in Prachin Panth Prakash, Dei Guru Granth Avaj, So Karago Hamare Kaj. That the Puratan name for a Hukamname, to take a Hukamname, if someone's very new here, a Hukamname or a Mukhvaak, in the simplest way, or the way it's translated, it means a random reading. And the Puratan name for a Hukamnama was to take an avaj, so to take a sound, to take a hukam. And Guru Maharaj Ji says that they Guru Granth Avaj, so karago hamare kaj, to Baba Buddha Sahib Ji, that you take the Hukamnama Sahib. And the Hukamnama Sahib that came, and the words that Satguru Sahib Ji said. So this is the picture of Baba Buddha Sahib Ji on Tabya. And at that time, so Satguru Sahib Ji gave hukam, Buddha Sahib Kholo Granth, that Baba Buddha Sahib Ji, because they were the oldest Sikh of that time, Bhai Bird Ji, that at the age of 12 they met Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji. They were, by age and by virtue, they were the greatest in Gurukar. And Satguru Sahib Ji says that Buddha Sahib Kholo Granth, that this Granth Sahib that we've compiled, now you do Parkash of it, and even now when we do Parkash, the first thing we do is a Hukamnama. In that same way, Leho Avaj Sunha Sab Panth, that tusi Avaj lo, Hukamnama lo. Adab Sang Tab Granth So Khola Le Avaj Buddha Mukh Bola. And Baba Buddha Sahib Ji then took this Pavan Hukamnama, and the Hukamnama Sahib that came was Suhi Mahalla Panjwa, Santa ke Karaj Aap Khloya, Har Kam Karavan Aya Ram. And how fitting was that, because Harmandir Sahib has just been completed, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj has just been Parkash. So if we look at it in that context, Santa ke Karaj, Sant kaun? Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji, Karaj keda Sri Harmandir Sahib nu banaun da. Aap khloya, that Akal Purkh Vaheguru has come themselves. And we know through the other shabds of Gurbani that during the Kar Seva of Sri Harmandir Sahib, Akal Purkh Vaheguru themselves came. And in Suraj Parkash, which is the main sort of portion of our ithaas, there's a beautiful scene that's painted that ek passe Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Kar Seva kar rahe ha, te duje passe Akal Purkh Vaheguru. So ek passe Bhakti Swarup Guru Arjan Dev Ji, te ek passe Raja Swarup Akal Purkh Vaheguru, ਉਹ ਕਾਰ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਰਮੰਦਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ. And ਹਰ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਾਵਣ ਆਇਆ ਰਾਮ. So how fitting is that Hari, that ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਰਿਆ ਭਰਿਆ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ, he's come to do this task. And ਧਰਤ ਸੁਹਾਵੀ, that this Amritsar Sahib Ji ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਧਰਤੀ ਹੈ, this land of Amritsar, it's become suhavi, beautiful with Sri Harmandir Sahib. Tal Suhava, and the Sarovar that Sri Guru Ramdas Sahib Ji began, that has now come to completion, which Amrit Jal Shaya Ram, and now with the pravah of Katha and Kirtan happening at Sri Harmandir Sahib, this Jal has become Amrit. So that is the first instant that a Hukamnama is taken, and immediately Satguru Sahib Ji shown us that even while Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj Ji is sat there in the Sangat, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji is taking a leadership. And we all know that Sri Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj gave the Satkar of Guru Granth Sahib Ji being on a bed and themselves lying on the floor, and many other things that Satguru Sahib Ji did out of Satkar. But here, as soon as Guru Granth Sahib Ji has become Parkash, they've already given evidence, apni hon di pehchan aap hi Satguru ne Hukamname de rahi karwati. And in our Guru Sahib's ithaas, I'm sure there's been countless Hukamname, because all these traditions of Akhand Path Sahib, Sahaj Path, they've all been established by Satguru Sahib Ji themselves. Some people nowadays, they try to put it through that the Sahaj Paths and the Akhand Paths, they've come afterwards, it's a money-making scheme. But no, these Akhand Paths and these Sahaj Paths, they were made by Satguru Sahib Ji. And I'm sure there were many, many Hukamname. And this is just one example, that Satguru Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, when they've come to Damdama Sahib, they've opened their Kamar Kassa, and the Sakhi comes that they recited the whole of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji from memory. And they've done all that. Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji has become complete. They've put their father Satguru Sahib Ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's Bani, Slok Mahalla Nama, they've included that. And now the time has come for them to leave and go to Hajur Sahib. And again, if we look at this Hukamnama Sahib that came at the completion of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and the Ardas was done for Payana to go to Hajur Sahib. So this is how one Guru Sahib Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji, or all the Guru Sahiban and Guru Granth Sahib Ji is. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji obviously knows that in a matter of months I'm going to be going to Sachkhand. And then that same Guru Sarup through Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji is speaking that Todi Mahalla Panjwa Satgur Ayo Saran Tohari. So again, Satguru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj has caused this in Bhakti Sarup, that Akal Purkh Vaheguru, the true Satguru, that मैं थोड़ी शरण हुण आउण लगा हां. And there were just a few things, especially about this Hukamnama, because we don't have time to go through all of it, but if we afterwards as well, even if we look at the simple translations that are available, we'll see how much it is related, how contextual it is to that situation. But lekha chhod, lekha chhuta hai. So lekha chhod, Guru Granth Sahib Ji di likhai puri ho ke hatiya. And here, through Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji's Hukamnama, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji apni, jive apa after doing part we say akhar vada bhul chuk maaf karni. In that way, Sri Guru Gobind Singh Ji, they're so one with Akal Purkh Vaheguru, who in turn is the Shabad, that here lekha chhod lekha chuta. So mannana hi pauga ki Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji ikko hi hai Guru Nanak Sahib de saroop. And the Pangti finishes Nanak Das Sant Pacha Pareo Rakh Leo Eh Bari. So Satguru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj in Bachittar Natak, they've narrated that from their first Janam up until now, this point that they've become a Satguru, how that whole series of events occurred. And here Nanak Das Sant Pacha Pareo, that after all of these turns of coming on this earth, Rakh Leo Bari, that now that I've become the form of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, you've kept me as the form of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. That's the Nimrata of Satguru Sahib Ji speaking through the Mukhvaak. So the Guru and the Shabad are one, and they're speaking interchangeably. And then the time comes, and this is the last bit of Gur Itihas that we're going to cover. The time comes that Satguru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is going to Sachkhand. And this is when the doctor, when they've got a wound that was inflicted on them, and the doctor comes to treat them. Many accounts have said that Satguru Sahib Ji, this wound carried on, but we believe, and in the Sampradaya, in Damdami Tiksar, it's taught that Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji's wound healed. And Guru Maharaj Ji, just like no sword could actually cut Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's cease. So some people will say that you're lowering Satguru Sahib Ji's martyrdom, but Satguru Sahib Ji in Gurbani it says that Sastra tikhan kaat daryo man na kino ros kaajwa ko le sawaryo til na dino dos ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਕੋਈ ਕਿਰਪਾਨ ਬਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ 10 ਰੂਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਟ ਸਕੇ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਕੋਈ ਜ਼ਖਮ ਨਹੀਂ there is no wound that Satguru Sahib Ji can become ill by they ਮਨ ਪਾਣਾ but that's not the way that this all proceeds so ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ Satguru Sahib Ji heal and through their own marji Satguru Sahib Ji ਸੱਚਖੰਡ ਪਿਆਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ and that Mukhvaak that comes that final time and the shabad that the ragis are then told to sing, that shabad comes, Khulya karm kirpa pe thakur kirtan har har gai, sram thaka paye bisrama, mit gayi sagli tai. And again, how much is Satguru, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj present, speaking, and they are one with Satguru Sahib Ji, physical form, that Satguru Sahib Ji is speaking both physically and through the shabad. And Ab Mohe Jeevan Padavi Pai. And at this final moment that Satguru Sahib Ji is going back to Sachkhand, they say that now I have found the purpose of life. I found the position of life, the purpose of life. But that was in Gur Ithaas, and it could come that Satguru Sahib Ji, Sarbakala Samrat, that they were causing these things to happen. But Sahib Mera Neet Nava, Guru Granth Sahib Ji's Kala, it carries on, it continues. And there are many examples of this, and I've just chosen a few. Sardar Jassa Singh Ahluwalia, that was the Jathedar of the Gaum at one time, in 1763, Vaisakhi, a Brahmin comes to the Jathedar and to the Panth Khalsa and says that Mughal Nawab Usman Khan has kidnapped, abducted my daughter. Will you go and tackle them and bring my daughter back? And there's always two types of people in the Sangat. And some people actually said that it's not worth it. It's just one daughter. These things were all said. And it came to this point, and eventually it came to the point that there was so much disruption that they weren't sure what to do, that they took a Hukamname side. And these are the words that are recorded in ithaas that Jathedar Jassa Singh Ji Ahluwalia said, Tu Granth Sachi hai de, Sikh Sangat ko sach vaak de, that give us the truth, give us the Marg Darshan. Chak Patre Granth Ji dekha, Basant Var ko ayo lekha. Jado Patre Chakke, matlab jado Hukamnama liya, when the Hukamnama Sahib was taken, that this Pavan Hukamnama of Basant ki Var, the whole Var came, but when they came to these Pangtiyan, Panje Badde Mahabali Kar Sacha Toa, that Panje Badde, that the Shabad in the context of Gurbani, it's talking about the Panj Vikar or the Panj Sukham Vikar, etc. But Satguru Sahib Ji is speaking to us on all the levels, and Ithe Sikhane Marg Darshan Mangya, they've said Panje Jede Shresh Takde Dushmanya, O Jinne Marji Ajman Sacha Toa, you have my support. So this is just another example of how much Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji is able to guide the Panth. In the same way, moving on, 1920, the Gurdwara Sudhar Lair happens. The Singh Sabha Lair and the Gurdwara Sudhar Lair, very similar, happen round about the same time. Many different great Gursikhs of different Jathebandiyan, Sant Atar Singh Ji Mastuwani Wale, a great pioneer of this, and there is a mass coming of people into Sikhi taking Amrit. And this was the time when those people that are said to be of a so-called low caste, they took Amrit and they joined the Panth. And it's a sad reality, and we still have it now. We obviously see it even locally, I'm sure, that there are caste-based Gurdwara. In India, the problems go further. But at that time, this was very new, that the so-called low castes that traditionally have affiliated themselves to the Hindu faith, they were becoming Amritari and joining the Panth. Now, they come to Sri Harmandir Sahib and they bring Kra Prashad Di Deg. And as soon as that happens, the Mahanti, the people that were running Sri Harmandir Sahib, they are offended. This cannot happen. This is wrong. you will pollute Sri Harmandir Sahib. But at that time, Faisala eh hunda that, oh, look, we'll do an ardas, we'll take a Hukamnama Sahib. And again, Satguru Sahib Ji, they show Narayan Narpat Namaskare, aise gur ko balbal jaiye, aap mukt mohita rahe. That how wonderful is Satguru Sahib Ji Jawab Siddha. There's no hidden meaning or riddle. It's partakh. They're Siddha saying, Niguniya nu ape baks le bhai Satgur ki seva lae. That Vaheguru jina vich koi gun nahi siga. The people that even were corrupt, Ajamal, Ganka, etc., una nu bhi le liya, that these are my Sikhs. Satgur ki seva lai, Satgur ki seva uttam hai bhai, Ram naam chit lai. And when this Mukhvaak, this Mahavak of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji came, there was no delusion about what to do, that Deg was accepted. So this is just another example of Satguru Sahib Ji. And something that we celebrated earlier this year as well, the Shahidi Sadqa of Nankana Sahib. The ithaas very, very shortly that it was the time when the Gore, the British, were ruling Punjab, and they were fueling, they were funding the Mahants that were previously there too, but now with this extra sense of security, the Mahants became very, very corrupted. And Nankana Sahib especially, there were attempts to defile it. The things that were happening there were beyond disgraceful, disgusting. And a group of Sikhs made a Shahidi Jatha and went to Sri Nankana Sahib to free the Asthan of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj's Parkash. And they go, but obviously they know what's going to be there. And at first, there is just some thought that there will be some confrontation, but we will be able to get the Asthan. But they do an ardas. A Sikh always does an ardas before they leave for any karaj. Be it jang, be it anand karaj, anything, an ardas is done. And just another thing on this Hukamname, so I don't forget, that Sikh de jinne vi sanskar ya panj sanskar, ਉਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਮੁਖਵਾਕ ਤੋਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. From a Hukamnama, the Janam Sanskar, some of us, I don't know how it's come about culturally, there's this thing, Naam Karan Sanskar, that doesn't exist in the Panth. The Sanskar is Janam Sanskar, and in that a Hukamnama is taken from Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and the first akkar of that Shabad is used for the name. And in this way, the Hukamnama that came when those Gursikhs left was this one. And the Pangti that stuck out at that time as well, it was mentioned that we think there will be some issues, was Tanman Kaat Kaat Sab Arpi Vich Agni Aap Jalai. Those of us that know the ithaas or have been to Nankana Sahib, there's that Jand, that tree where the Sikhs were tied and burnt. So Vich Agni Aap Jalai, these things happened. But it happens, this Hukamnama, they go halfway through, and utte fir ja ke idda ho janda hai. They get some khabar that utte police bahut jadi hai, that we're going to get annihilated. So the second Singh that was in that list by Ishar Singh, he takes the Hukamnama itihas records. And again, Satguru Sahib Ji give this Pavan Sri Mukhvaak, the same Hukamnama, on the same day. And again, when the Singhs hear Tanman Kaat Kaat Sab Arpi which Agni Aap Jalai, at that point उन्होंने अपनी अरदास कर दी कि हुण असीं वापस नहीं आना. So इस तरीके दे नाल Satguru Sahib Ji, in the form of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, they are always guiding the Khalsa, the Panth. Now, fast forwarding, Sant Gyani Jarnail Singh Ji Khalsa, arguably the most famous or the greatest Sikh of our modern times, that Sant Jarnail Singh Ji Khalsa, because those that are one with God, they don't want to be at the forefront. It's people like me that want to be at the forefront. Bapu Jarnail Singh Ji Laddu is someone that's passed away now, Sachkhand Vasi ho gaya. They used to live in UP in a small hut. And those Gursikhs, they used to wake up and they used to do Asa Divar the Kirtan by themselves in their hut daily. That Bapuji was present at the time of the Starbandi when Sant Jarnail Singh Ji took the Jimmewari, the duty of Damdami Taksal. Those of us that don't know what Damdami Taksal is, it's the Sikh seminary, the institution that Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji set up for the education of Sikhs eternally. And that Jimmevari of a Mukhi, because the predecessor to them, Sant Kartar Singh Ji, they had gone in a car accident and there was no declaration of who they would appoint. A Sevadar, Bhai Thakur Singh Ji, Baba Thakur Singh Ji was appointed to appoint the next Jathedar, but fairly there was some discrepancy that who should be Jathedar. But finally it was decided that Sant Jarnail Singh Ji would lead this Damdami Taksal, but Hon Najdeek Khudaye de Bhed na kise den. So that Sant Jarnail Singh Ji, any nimrata si, they said, we don't want this seva. We're not worthy of this seva, of leading this Taksal. And Hukamname or Satguru Sahib Ji can speak to us in a number of ways. I've been with a great Gursikh, and once I was going to Sri Harmandir Sahib and I took permission, and they said to listen to the Hukamname Sahib, and I go, what if I go there and there's Kirtan going on? And the jawab that they gave was that Jedi Kirtan di Pangti chaldi hogi ve Kirtan ch nahi Satguru vartde. So in that way, but there was an Akhand Path going on when Sant Jarnail Singh Ji was made Mukhi, and we can do this. Sometimes we think that we have to wait for the Hukamname and Akhand Path, but when we go and we do Ardas, the Shabad that follows our Ardas, that is our Hukamname. And Sant Jarnail Singh Ji go into Darbar Sahib at Mehta and they do Matha Tek, and the following Shabad comes. Gaudi Mahalla Panjwa, Gur Seva te Name Laga, Tisko Milaya Jis Mastak Paga. And Gur Seva te Name Laga, that Guru Sahib di tusi seva ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਜਨਮਾਂ ਲਈ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਨਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕਮਿਕ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ ਆ and the main thing was tisko milya jis mastak bhaga, because Sant Jarnail Singh Ji was arguing that mere to bahut vadde singh a that are greater in vidvata, that are greater in virtue, that can lead the qawm, but this ekvachan hunda. In English we use the words, I've not been to school for so long, singular and plural. This is a singular, and so when it said this, that singular, that can only refer to one person. And then when Sant Ji came out and Bapu Jarnail Singh Ji was standing there, and they go, Satguru Sahib Ji da hukum hai, hon nahi tal sakde, and the dastar bandi was done. So that is a great Gursikh, a Brahm Gyani. They go to Satguru Sahib Ji's Hajuri, and Satguru Sahib Ji guides them, speaks to them as well. And this is a photo of when Operation Blue Star occurred. Sri Harmandir Sahib was attacked. These things, sometimes we think, why did they occur or who was to blame? But they were prophesied by Satguru Sahib Ji. And everything that happened, even though it was wrong, it was in the Pana of Satguru Sahib Ji and the way that they formulated. So that Satguru Sahib Ji that have said, Rajgrega Khalsa, they've already made the plan, the strategy. So this was part of it. And moving on. This is the Saroop of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj that was bulleted, that was hit with a bullet. And for a long time, we can't say for the first time, because of course when Massa Rangad or previously Sri Harmandir Sahib was attacked, the Maryada must have halted then as well. But this time also in 1984, Sri Harmandir Sahib, the Maryada, it was stopped. And afterwards, Jado Maryada Bahal ho gayi, when the series, the routine of Sri Harmandir Sahib progressed, the first Hukamnama Sahib that Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj Ji gave was this Shabad. And this was when the whole Panth internationally is looking that ki ho gaya, ki pana vapar gaya. But at that time, Satguru Sahib Ji gives this Hukamnama, Sorat Mahalla Panjwa Kar Pehla Tittuke, Ik Oankar Satguru Prasad. Kis ho jachi, kis aradi, jaan sab ko kita hosi. So about Pana, that kis ho jachi, who can we turn to now? That maybe previously people aligned themselves to be part of this greater nation, but hon enna kuch ho gaya, kis ho jachi, hon tusi kitthe jana? Kis aradi, And now's the time to join the Panth, to become Tyar Par Tyar and defend your Asthan, your Dharam. That Nara that Sant Kartar Singh Ji was giving, that Sir Jave Ta Jave, Mera Sikhi Sidik Na Jave, that Sant Jarnail Singh Ji was singing, Ditya Baaj Nahi Rehna, Dharam Sir Ditya Baaj Nahi Rehna. Now Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji says, Kis Aradi? Hon tusi kehnu manana? Hon ta manana hi pauga na meri hond nu. Jah sab ko kita hosi, that all that this is happening per Akal Purkh Vaheguru's will. And the second Panditi, for me, it reads like a death warrant for the perpetrators, or that one perpetrator that was the main person behind all of this. And the death warrant is this: Jojo disa vada vadera so khakku ralsi. That jo bhi vada vada apne aap nu samjhda, if someone thinks they're a great general, or they think that they've done something big, or they're the prime minister of the country and that they've achieved something, but at that time Satguru Sahib Ji ne death warrant oda jari kar ditta, that they will khakku ralsi, they will meet with the earth, they will become dust. So that was when the Maryada of Sri Harmandir Sahib was bahal once again. Moving on, Bhai. And obviously that time comes Halloween, October the 31st, 1984, Indira Gandhi is assassinated. And at that time, there was obviously the riots that followed, but emotions at that time, even to this day, they're very split. I wouldn't say in the Panth, but in the general Punjabi population that we're all a part of, opinions are still divided, and we have to accept that. But those that look at Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, that you are our Guru, the Hukamname that Guru Maharaj Ji gave as a jawab was this. And this was on that day that Indira Gandhi was killed, sorry, the following day, so November the 1st. And the Hukamnama that comes at Amrit Vela is, Bhagtan di tu sada rakhda har jiyo, tur tu rakhda aya. That Bhagtan di tu sada rakhda har jiyo, that you have always maintained the honor of your Bhagats, your devotees. So in this present time, Bhagat kaun hai? Sikh Panthi Bhagtan da aya. Guru Nanak Sahib Akal Purkh Vaheguru wa te jehड़ा भी नितनेम करूगा वो उन्हां दा भगत ही आ. So भगतां दी तू रखदा आया, भगतां दी तू सदा रखदा हर जियो, तुर तू रखदा आया. From the beginning you have done this. Prahlad jan tod rakh le har jiyo, harnakas mar pachaya. And from the Puratan ithaas of India, this drishtant is given of Harnaksh. That was a great demon, and Prahlad was his son that was very religious, a Bhagat. So if we look at it, I'm sure those of us that have studied English, even into, to a very basic GCSE level or further, metaphors or how things fit in. So Prahlad kaun hai? Prahlad is vile panthya. So jida Prahlad balak sega, ise tarike de naal how Prahlad was a child, that way the panth was being attacked, the riots were carrying on, and Prahlad jan tod rakh le, but Maharaj says, I will keep you. But Harnakas jeda si vadda, that Harnakas, the emperor of that time and the prime minister of this time, mar pachaya. Te unan nu mar ditta, they sent them to where they were meant to go. So just coming to an end now, before we'll just open up to a few questions and discussion. These are just a few things that I've noticed about Satguru Sahib Ji. Sahib mera neet nawa sada sada datar. That Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, just as in the primal form of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, they are the same, and they continue to work in that way. These are just a few examples that I've witnessed or I've heard from trusted Gursikhs. The first one, I was at my local town. There's not many people that have had Santhya. So it happens that for most of the Ananda Karajas that happen, I do the Lama. And there was this one Ananda Karaj that it was very evident that the families weren't too concerned about Gurmat, about Guru Sahib da Satkar. And I was actually asked to do the Mukhvaak Katha after as well. But the Mukhvaak, and it was a request that was done from the couple. And Satguru Sahib Ji at that wedding that I was at, Satguru Sahib Ji gave this Pavan Hukamnama, Suhabta Suhagani Ja Man Leh Sach Na. That and this is at a wedding, Suhab ta Sohagani, Suhab means red, so how brides wear red, that O Sohagani, she is wearing red, she is the true bride, Jaman leh sajna. So this is just how Vaheguru Ji works in the form of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Another Gursikh that I know closely, when he got into his teenage, he found out that he was adopted. And at that time, he had somewhat of an identity crisis. He didn't know who he was. And he comes into Darbar Sahib, and Asaji Diwar, the Kirtan is going on. And at that time, Satguru Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, he sits for the whole Diwan, and the Ardas is done. And during the Ardas, he puts all his emotions through to Satguru Sahib Ji. And it's quite funny because in his situation, he was the sort of more religious member of his family. And he was saying to Satguru Sahib Ji that, look, I'm the religious one, my family, they're all manamuks, they all have meat, shrab, etc. But you've done me over. He felt betrayed. Even when you learn of these things, you often have emotions of betrayal. And these extend, we often blame God. But in that same way, so he was saying to Satguru Sahib Ji that I've been betrayed. And the Mukhvaak that followed was Tum date Thakur Pratpalak Nayak Khasam Hamare Nimik Nimik Tum Hi Pratpalaho Ham Barak Tumre Tare. Ham Barak Tumre Tare. Guru Sahib is saying, Ham Barak, we are all children of Satguru Sahib Ji, and they have formed us out of themselves. And later on, that Gursikh was so moved that in a matter of a few months, he took Amrit. At Anand Karaj that was done according to Gurmat, an Amritari couple, an arranged marriage, the couple had not seen each other, and the groom, who happens to be a friend of mine, is very nervous, and he's having all these thoughts. But the Hukamname that came before the Anand Karaj for him was Gurpure Charni Laya Har Sang Sahai Paya. And for him, that was it. He'd found that answer, that parosa from Satguru Sahib Ji. And one Gursikh, one great Gursikh, and I remember this incident because often when we go through crisis, we look for signs, especially if we come on this path, then we often look at Satguru Sahib Ji that we sort of get some sort of forewarning or something. And this great Gursikh that I knew at one time, and they passed away now, Baba Santokh Singh Ji, when they passed away that morning, so we used to look at the Hukamname every day because the health would go up, it would go down. And this is how Alpag, how small our intellect is. So that morning, the Mukhvaak came, Chatur Disa Kino Bal Apna Sir Upar Karta Reo, Kirpa Kata Ke Avlokan Kino Das Ka Dukh Nivaryo. And when we heard these words, Das Ka Dukh Nivaryo, we were all thrilled that Das Kon, Baba Ji Thade Das Honge, Ona da Dukh Katya Gaya. But we did not know that the Mahapurukhs, they consider this world to be temporary. Eo to sansar no dukh swarup mandeya. Ek dukh Ram Rai kato mera, agan daha aur garb basera. And that dukh, obviously, of coming into the world and having to live in this world in the body, that went for them and they went to Sachkhand. So that is just how Satguru, Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, in my opinion, or in the way that I see Satguru Sahib Ji, there's this need to develop our relationship with Satguru Sahib Ji. Satguru Sahib Ji, of course, is Gyan da Summa, but they are not just that. What does it mean to be a guru? What does it mean to be a tutor? When Satguru Sahib Ji says that I am your friend, I am your husband, I am the supreme trader, and I'm the supreme merchant and you're all traders. When Satguru Sahib Ji says that you are the Lord, that I am the Lord, that I am the mother, all these things, what do they mean? It's for us to develop our personal relations with Satguru Sahib Ji. And Satguru Sahib Ji, jive vi aapa dhyaunge, they will become partakh in that way. And Guru Granth Sahib Ji, of course, they are Gyan de Summe. We are, of course, to learn from them, the Gyan that is contained with them. But when we look in Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, Gyan is just one element. Paath padhyo aur ved bicharyo nival pyangam sadhe. O vi ta Gyan hi si. So in that way, that is the personal relationship that we should all develop with Satguru Sahib Ji. And no matter what hurdles come in our life, Satguru Sahib Ji is always speaking to us, and they will be speaking to the Panth and guiding the Panth forever. And this Pangati of Dusre Pasha Sri Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, just to finish off, this is how we should do ardas. Kis hi koi koe manya nimani ikatu. That someone may have someone else, kis hi koi koe, they may have someone else, but for me, nimani ikatun, that only is you, Tan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So with that, we finish.